We also bartered corn, beans, and asparagus in their seasons. Bill got off the bus while I was working on the last line. I waved him inside. No need for both of us to get all covered with fish guts and blood. Then lightning struck on the other side of the lake, and I put the line back in anyhow. Hung up the stiff gloves and apron, and turned off the stasis field for a second to check the catch level. Just beat the rain. I stood on the porch for a minute and watched the squall line hiss its way across the lake. Warm inside. Mary Gay had started a small fire in the kitchen fireplace. Bill was sitting there with a glass of wine. That was still a novelty to him. "So, how are we doing?" His accent always sounded strange when he first got back from school. He didn't speak English in class, or, I suspected, with many of his friends. "Over the 60% mark," I said, scrubbing my hands and face at the work sink. "Any better luck and we'll have to eat the damned things ourselves." "Think I'll poach a big bunch for dinner," Mary Gay said, deadpan. That gave them the flavor and consistency of cotton. "Come on, Mom," Bill said. "Let's just have them raw." He liked them even less than I did. Chopping off their heads was the high point of his day. I went to the trio of casks at the other end of the room and tapped a glass of dry red wine, then sat with Bill on the bench by the fire. I poked at it with a stick, a social gesture probably older than this young planet. "You were going to have the art zombie today." "The art history man," he said. "She's from Centris. Haven't seen her in a year. We didn't draw or anything. Just looked at pictures and statues." "From Earth?" "Mostly." Tauran art is weird. That was a charitable assessment. It was also ugly and incomprehensible. "She said we have to come to it gradually. We looked at some architecture." Their architecture I knew something about. I destroyed acres of it centuries ago. Felt like yesterday sometimes. "I remember the first time I came across one of their barracks," I said. "All the little individual cells, like a beehive." He made a non-committal noise that I took as a warning. "So where's your sister?" She was still in high school but had the same bus. I can't keep her schedule straight. "She's at the library," Mary Gay said. "She'll call if she's going to be late." I checked my watch. Can't wait dinner too long. The meeting was at 8:30. "I know." She stepped over the bench and sat down between us and handed me a plate of breadsticks. "From Snell. Came by this morning." They were salty and hard, broke between the jaws with an interesting concussion. I'll thank him tonight. "Old folks' party?" Bill asked. "Sixth day," I said. "We're walking if you want the floater. But don't drink too much wine," he anticipated and held up his glass. "This is it. Volleyball down at the gym. Win one for the Gipper." "What?" "Something my mother used to say. I don't know what a Gipper is." "Sounds like a position," he said. "Server, spiker, Gipper." As if he cared a lot about the game-qua game. They played in the nude, mixed, and it was as much a mating ritual as a sport. A sudden blast of sleet rattled against the window. "You don't want to walk through that," he said. "You could drop me off at the gym." "Well, you could drop us off," Mary Gay said. The route of the floater wasn't registered, just the parking location, supposedly for call forwarding. "Charlie and Diana's place. They won't care if we're early." "Thanks. I might score." He didn't mean volleyball. When he used our ancient slang, I never knew whether it was affection or derision. I guess when I was 21, I could do both at the same time with my parents. A bus stopped outside. I heard Sarah running up the boardwalk through the weather. The front door opened and shut fast, and she ran upstairs to change. "Dinner in 10 minutes," Mary Gay called up the stairs. She made an impatient noise back. "Starting to bleed tomorrow," Bill said. "Since when do brothers keep track of that?" Mary Gay said. "Or husbands." He looked at the floor. "She said something this morning."